So, what I wanted to go over is do you remember? I know you guys have all seen it at some point. Do you remember in the prerequisite videos the concept of information versus transformation? Information versus transformation. So, a lot of us before Rose is like, no, I do not remember. You need to go over it immediately. Everyone's like, no, we don't remember. Okay. So, here's the deal. Obviously we've all been on our paths for a while, right? Very few newbies make it into this group. Most of us have been into these concepts for a long ass time, and we've got the books. You go look at the bookshelves. Unless I've already convinced you to throw away all your personal development books, they're probably all up on the shelf. Let's see, look at Lynn's, look at Hillary's. We can see Hillary's collection of personal development books. On there's only a couple. Okay, good. So when we are reading, when we are watching something, we are consuming information. And that can feel really good. It can feel really good to read a book. It can feel really good to watch Abraham Hicks YouTube video. It can feel really, really good to consume this information. Consuming information gives us dopamine hits. Consuming information gives us hope. Consuming information makes it feel like, oh, there's a path and I know what the path is. However, consuming information is not what creates a massive transformation. There's no very little, there's no transforming from consuming information. It's like these little hits you're getting from consuming information. And it has this time and place. I want you to all watch Abraham Hicks videos. I love them too. But remembering that the transformation is when we push this shit out of our bodies. When we push this shit out. And we push this shit out of our body in multiple ways. We do it by writing. Can you see when you write something, it's coming out of your body? When you're reading something, it's coming into your body. Can you see when you listen to something, it's coming into your body? When you speak, it's coming out of your body. So we're looking at which direction is the juice coming in and out of. And so we can get stuck. A lot of people can get stuck on consuming the information and then being confused why there's no transformation. Hillary's just laughing over here. You're like, yeah, bitch.
I'm
So,
loving it. I'm loving it. It's just true. I love it.
and I'm just bringing this up because, when you guys sign up for the flow program, it's like, I'm like, what do I say? I'm like, buckle the fuck up, bitches. I'm like, buckle the fuck up because it's a journey, right? Sometimes you don't know what the work looks like, and then you learn what the work is. You learn what the work looks like, and then you need to take a minute to adjust the idea, and then you do some, and it's kind of this like, ups and downs, ups and downs. And along those ups and downs, it's easy to fall back into consuming the information, reading the books, listening to the audiobook, listening to the YouTube, listening to Abraham Hicks, listening to Joe Dispenza. And none of that's bad. None of it's bad. It's just not transformation. It's not pushing something out of our body. And so, what we're doing here in Flow is really about how do we push this shit out of our body? Because now when we push it out of our body, now we are creating. When we're reading or listening, we're not creating, we're consuming. But if we're pushing it out of our body, we are in creation mode. And that is where the transformation comes. So we can ask ourselves, okay, cool. What can I push out of my body right now? What can I push out right now? What can I create? What can I flow? What can I conjure up in my body and have flow outside of me? Now, if you have written a rewrite, if you're brand new, don't worry about this right now. But if you have done any sort of rewriting, when you read it, if it's words you have pushed out of your body and now you're reading what you've pushed out of your body, that is creation. If you decide to read out loud your rewrite, if you decide to write down on a piece of paper, what do I actually know? If you're writing down, if you're writing anything down, it's coming out of your body. If you are declaring what you want and how it would feel, and you're writing about how what you want would feel, that is coming out of your body. If you are writing lists of appreciation, that is coming out of your body. You know what a really good hack is? You know what a really good one is? Is if you listen to an Abraham Hicks or one of your favorite videos and you transcribe it while listening to it. That's a good one, because that technically is you like taking it in and then like pushing it back out in the form of writing it down. So if you don't want to be responsible for what you're thinking, you could transcribe a yummy video. You could future cast, right? Future casting, looking at where you want to go and how it would feel there. We're pushing out of our body. And so let's say that there's a day where you don't really feel like doing a routine, or you don't really feel like doing what I particularly taught you that at any given time. You could really ask yourself, what can I push out of my body right now? And it could be an appreciation rant. It could be an appreciation rant. It could be a blank piece of paper where you set a timer for 5 minutes and just are continually writing out, I appreciate my home, and I appreciate my coffee, and I appreciate my fridge full of food, and my warm blankets, and my cozy dog views, and this window and this tree. It doesn't even matter how deep or surface level the appreciation is, you are pushing it out of your body. So that's just a reminder. So if you felt like you wanted to change up anything about your routine, or if you wanted to just kind of question or do a little self inventory on what kind of energy work have you been doing, likely you will see a stark correlation between how you feel and what you've been doing. It's amazing. It's actually quite amazing how feeling fantastic correlates to creation, writing, speaking, processing, shifting, and how it can still feel good to listen, but not as good as creating. And then if you have felt like you are in a dip, we've got how many people? We have 36 people in here right now, right? So there's a solid percentage of people in here who might identify as being in a dip. We know that energy alignment and manifesting everything is like the stock market. We're trending upwards. And so sometimes we have up days and sometimes we have down days, but we are trending upwards, right? And so if somebody is in a dip, remember, I have everything I have to say about dips is in the dip protocol. If you're brand new and don't know what I'm talking about, it's like, I think it's in month 2, and there's a module, it's 1 hour, and it says the dip protocol. Everything I have to say about your dips is in that video. However, you can ask yourself, is this a mystery, or what has my energy practice looked like for the past 7 days? So somebody comes on and they're like, gosh, I just feel I go, okay, cool. Tell me what you've been doing, what your energy practice has looked like for the past 7 days. And then it looks like this. I go, okay, mystery solved. Let's just get back in. You can start with the 2-2-2 routine. You can beef it up, like mystery solved, right? What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to discuss and analyze your dip, because now we're activating the dip, right? The more we want to talk about the dip, sometimes it feels like we need to analyze and figure out the dip so we can figure out how to get out of the dip. But the path out of the dip is not talking about the dip. When we talk about how can I feel better, now we're activating feeling better. When we're talking about the path, alignment, now we're activating that. Just like every teacher in the history of the world says, whatever you talk about, you get, right? Like, definitely not novel, definitely not a novel sentiment. You get whatever you talk about, whatever you think about, whether you want it or not. So we can be careful. We can be careful about, are we talking about dips? Are we talking about challenges? Or are we talking about feeling good? And are we talking about pathways? Now on occasion, somebody was like, Aaliyah, yesterday was the best day of my life. I don't know why I'm dipping today. You wouldn't even believe the energy where I was yesterday. And these texts come in regularly from you guys asking, is this normal? And the answer is yes, it is normal, especially in the beginning. especially in the beginning where you have just gotten yourself out of jail, the jail cell of your narrative. You've just expressed with newfound freedom. You've just had some of the highest days you have. And now you're wondering why you have a low day. It's because I want you to imagine that you're like fucking hobbit in the woods who's just come across a pot of magic. And now you're learning how to use this magic, right? You're now learning. And so it can be like shooting up this way, shooting up that way. So it's just very normal in the beginning to have your ups and your downs. And the more you stick to the work and become aware of your thoughts, and you shift and you're intentional and let yourself off, and you're just generally trying to do the best you can to leaning into the next best available thought, that the spread between how you get to stay high, but then those dips get lower and lower and last for shorter and shorter amounts of time as you hone in that skill. I can't believe I haven't even taken a sip of this latte yet. Let me hold on. Oh yeah, it's good. I probably could have done a little less sweet still, but it isn't too sweet. That's good. So the second thing I want to pose to you today. So you guys get that little bitch slap information transformation? Okay, if you have been I want to see everybody raise up their hand. And if you have been in an information consuming mode, I just want to see a slow bitch slap across the face. So I want to do a bitch slap. Yeah, there we go. Okay, good. If you've been doing the work, and and I know all of us are, we just go in and out of primarily consuming information versus doing transformation. But I also want every single one of you to put your hand on your heart, because you have been transforming. You have been doing it. You have been fucking doing it. So I want you to feel deeply right now. I don't care what the fuck you've been up to for the past couple days. I don't care what the fuck happened this weekend. I don't care who you snapped at. I don't care. Okay. I don't care if you were on vacation, didn't do anything for the past couple weeks or months. I don't care. Because what I know for sure is every one of us is so on this path. And I want you to just like feel in your body that you are doing it. I want you to repeat the words in your mind. I am doing it. I have been doing it. I've been doing it more than ever in my whole life. I'm perfectly on my path. What I'm doing is just enough. I do love it, and I do want to do more, and it is good, and this is juicy, and it is the work. But I go easy on myself because I am motherfucking doing it. Right? I all know you guys have been doing it. I know that maybe your brain wants to convince you you're not doing a good job sometimes, and this, that, mine too. We're just gonna clean that shit up because we are. We absolutely are. If we're tracking what we are doing for controlling our personal energy and the love flowing out of our bodies, I think we're in the top 0.1% in the fucking world. I really do. I know that. I know that because there's not a more powerful group of lovers that I've ever met who are more intentional, who are more here to do the best they can and are doing a great job. So the second thing I want to go over with you today. Okay, maybe it's not too sweet because obviously I'm enjoying this. Here's a question. Write this down. Do you have space to be surprised? You can write, do I have space to be surprised? Do I have space for the universe to surprise me? Do I have space for the universe to surprise me? My calendar is back to back, and even if it's not back to back, I am thinking it should be, or thinking about something. It's a really interesting concept, right? Because a lot of our manifesting is an active approach. We are actively becoming aware of our thoughts. We're actively writing them down. We're actively rewriting them. We're actively shifting them. We're actively future casting. This is a lot of what we're doing is a very active side of manifestation. But we also know We also know that there is something called the allowing mode. We also know that the universe is gathering together the co-creative elements for our manifestations. But it's really hard to let the universe do the work and bring us the people and bring us the ideas if we don't have space to receive that. What does that space mean? It's like, do we have, are we ever quiet? How much quiet time do we have? How much quiet time do we have while feeling good? How much quiet time do we have while feeling good? Meaning, I brewed up my good energy and now I'm sitting and now I'm enjoying the view. Because what we've kind of agreed on together is that the how isn't our job. Hard to understand sometimes. The how isn't our job. Even though we are like the little soldier, we end up doing stuff. We end up doing stuff that results in the sales and the companies and buyers and whatever. So we are doing stuff. But there's a difference between forced effort and inspired effort. Forced action and inspired action. And so we are on the pathway to minimize, if not eliminate completely. Oh my God, you guys, you're not going to like this. To actually eliminate completely, but let's go easy on ourselves, minimize the amount of work we're doing with efforting energy. Meaning, I got to do this, I got to da 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 da. Because you can make phone calls, check emails, create plans in an energy of, I gotta do this. And then you can send those emails and those text messages and have those communications in an energy of, ah, I gotta do it. Forced effort. Now I gotta be honest with you guys. I'm not immune to this concept, okay? I'm not immune to this. So we don't need to be perfect, okay? As I'm growing and going into areas I've never been, I will flicker. I'll be in alignment and ease and then I'll flicker. So you don't have to be perfect, right? Do you understand this flickering thing? Like in one moment you're like, boom, 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 boom. And the next minute you're like, I gotta get it right. Okay. So I'm right there with you. There's no need to be perfect here. But the more we can minimize the I gotta get it right energy and maximize, I'm only motherfucking doing it if it's easy energy. The what's easy and obvious right now energy, then the more we are doing inspired action. So we want to be aiming for as much inspired action as we can. But how do we know what that inspired action is if you're busy all the time? If we don't take a minute to question our plan for the day, question our plan for the week or the month or the quarter or the year, how are we supposed to know what's inspired? So we have to be quiet for a hot second. We have to be quiet. We have to. Inspiration is literally the universe sending an idea to your little noggin. Okay. So we're in a good vibe. We're vibing here. So now we have access to thoughts here. But if we're so busy and we're doing stuff all the time, they can't get through. And so we want to do our energy work and get in that good vibe and have space to be surprised, have space to have the idea, have space to realize you don't need to do this, and have space to realize I'd really like to do that. So if we were to be looking at your routine this week, we could be asking ourselves, okay, on a high level, I can do anything if it's pushing, like I can give myself permission to do any activity, pushing good vibes out of my body, pushing narratives out of my body, pushing visions out of my body, pushing how everything would feel out of my body. And then also creating a little bit of space, whether that is saying, hey, I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes and just be quiet. Or whether you can do that have a cup of tea for 20 minutes and just be quiet. Or carve out a 2 or 3 hour morning where your intent is just to enjoy your morning, do energy work, and have paper down so you can be inspired. It's amazing. That's what people call downloads, right? When you just like, I don't know, this happen to anybody? You sit down and meditate, and within about 45 seconds of being quiet, you just get bombarded with the messages from the universe, what to do. Happens to me all the time. I think I'm going to go meditate and it's going to be this peaceful thing, but it's like the universe being like, finally, this bitch is listening. Right. And I have to get paper and like I have to write them all down. So then I can like go to like meditate. So do we have space to be surprised? Do we have space? So I want you all to figure out what kind of space can you create? Space while feeling good. So that might mean this could on the lowest level, this could mean your 222, 6 minutes of energy work, followed by 4 minutes of quiet time. So you could be like, okay, I'm gonna turn a 6 minute routine into a 10 minute routine with 4 minutes to just sit there. That I think like that would probably be the minimum required. Now, I would love it if you guys could be curious, when is the next half day you could carve out to do this? It could be powerful to get in a half an hour daily, but there's not rules. There's not a lot of rules with this. So maybe it's Monday, for fuck's sake. Can you do that? Can you treat yourself to 9 to 12 on Thursday? Can you treat yourself? What can you treat yourself from the 7 to 10? Can you go into work a little late one day this week and carve out 3 hours where it's literally the only goal is to feel fucking great, listen to music, and have a pen and paper out? So that is my invitation, is for you to just look into your schedule and see and be happy with any amount of time that you feel like you can create to receive the ideas, and not judge yourself if what I don't want you to do, don't do any bullshit. Don't do your 222 routine one time and then worry that no brilliant idea came in the following 4 minutes. Oh, I don't want to get a text message about it's not working. No, no. This is let's create some space. It could take a couple days, a couple times. So if you wanted to really jumpstart it, and be like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to take 3 or 4 hours. I'm going to go to a coffee shop. I'm going to get a brand new journal, pad of paper. I'm going to drink too many drinks and eat too many cookies, but I will have a salad and just see what flows. Just see what flows. I remember Bob. I don't know, was Bob here a couple weeks ago? I don't think Bob's here, but Bob a couple weeks ago really did this, and he said he was like, "It is amazing, Aaliyah, that I had the essential." I think the next day he took the morning and he was just like, "Okay, I'm gonna just feel good." And he said he had these just like instant, like he had these like I don't know what word he was using, not epiphanies, but these like ahas on how to solve things that didn't seem like it could be solved. And so it's really amazing what happens when you break out of the routine and allow ourselves to receive. So we kind of talked about two general concepts. I know Monday is Mountaintop Clarity, where we usually dive deep into routine stuff, but this is there. So for routine stuff this week, I want you to see what's working for you. You've got your rewrites, you've got future casting. My preference is you future cast the fuck out of your mornings. But if that feels not available, then we need to rewrite some shit. 222s, you know that you have in the modules, you have, if you scroll down, there's the morning routines where I'm giving you 10 different morning routines. But if you wanted the basics, if you wanted to start and tweak the times, 5 minutes of breathing or listening to Abraham, 5 minutes of ranting out what you appreciate, 5 minutes of reading your juicy rewrite, 5 minutes of future casting, 5 minutes reevaluating is what you're going to do today.